Does God, the infinite intelligence, the source of all things, would he want us to live in a democratic society? This is a fantastic question because our founding fathers in this country, the United States, were not fans of the democratic process. That's why we live in a constitutional republic, so that the minority of a particular thought process, a different idea, a different religion, a different way of living, that they actually were able to preserve the minority interest rights in any particular thing. So I would have to say the answer would by far be no. If I'm just guessing, and I cannot guess into the mind of the infinite, but I certainly would think that we want to protect all people. And so if a Catholic disagrees with the Baptist, then whoever has the majority gets to rule. That doesn't seem very fair. Catholics could squash Baptists. Baptists could squash Catholics. That seems insane. Would that mean that because the Amish are such a small part of the population in this country, that they would now have no rights as they practice their religion as they see fit? I don't think so. Do we think that because some people say things that we don't like, that we're so offended by because we have such thin skins, do we squash their ability to say what they want? And for us to allow the truth of a matter to come bubbling up to the surface because people can have open and honest debates? And they don't even have to be open and honest. It's easy to see when somebody, after they talk about a particular subject for any amount of time, whether there's some underlying truth in it or not, especially if you start to do your own research. So in a democracy, you can squash opposing views pretty easily. So we say all the time, you hear it, oh, we're going to fight this war for this thing, for democracy. Democracy is mob rule. And we do not live in a mob rule. So I don't know why we continue to say how wonderful the democracy is. None, I cannot think of any, of our founding fathers believed they were creating a democracy. I mean, a republic is a form of democracy, but they created a republic. And they created a republic so that the human experience can be fulfilled as that sovereign individual saw fit. He could reach God on his own without having to worry about the Church of England or the Pope or any other dictator sort of tyrannical oppression. He could plant whatever he wanted in his field. He could do whatever he wanted to do so long as it did not infringe upon the rights of another. That seems like what we should all be striving to preserve and protect, so that we can all be as free to explore this life and strive toward abundance, healthy relationships, knowing ourselves so that we may better know and understand others, so that we can ultimately commune with the higher power, God. And in democracies, they quickly, as we can see throughout history, go into a socialist, communist thing. And if anybody thinks any forms of those governments is a good idea, well, you're sadly mistaken. All you have to do is read about the gulags in Russia. All you have to do is read about how people were starved by the Maoist dictatorship. You can see Cambodia, Pol Pot. It's an ongoing story. And those things can easily and are happening here. And if we want to preserve our rights, which I believe God himself or herself wants us to be, this life is not meant to be experienced being dictated by others how we how we live and how we worship and or not worship, or how we want to see and raise our children. To exercise critical thinking. That's very difficult if we did not have the First Amendment. And now it is increasingly difficult with the First Amendment. So let's just take a pause next time we hear that we're going to fight for democracy. Let's preserve our democracy. No, we do not live in that way. Constitutional republic, so that we may preserve everyone's rights, so that no one's rights are trampled upon. It's a critical thing to know and understand. So, here we discuss many topics like this so that we may better understand ourselves and this environment that we live in, so that we can understand and have more compassion and know and communicate better with others, so that we can communicate better with God. And if that appeals to you, resonates with you, come out and see us on Sundays. We're here. Come here a few minutes early at 1:15 every Sunday, and you can find us at themysticsoftexas.com. Themysticsoftexas.com. Thanks, and we'll see you next time.